What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic weekend. It is here a little after 1 o'clock on Sunday. The Eagles making themselves a trade. We know the roster cutdowns are coming on Tuesday. We talked about possibly adding a quarterback that wasn't on this roster. Well, here you go. So we're going to talk about that here tonight, getting ready for this season, which is only 11 days away. So a lot of excitement in the air here, ladies and gentlemen, and I will be going live later talking about my projected 53-man roster. So hope to see you then. But let's jump right into this. Let's talk about the trade that went down today. I appreciate you all taking the time. Any thoughts, any questions that you have, love to hear from you down below. Appreciate you hitting that like button, subscribing, sharing, all the things you do to support the channel. Cannot thank you enough. But the Eagles make themselves a trade for quarterback Sam Howell from the Vikings. So we added in, we give them our 5th round pick next year and then a 2027 7th rounder, and we get Sam Howell and their 6th round pick. So a little flippy floppy with a quarterback and a 6th for a 5th and a 7th, no doubt. And then Lewis Seen, who was injured, he was waived/injured. So that means if he does not get claimed, he will revert to the Eagles IR, where he can either come off it at some point or be released with an injury settlement. So that opens up a roster spot for Sam Howell. Still have a couple of days before these cut downs. And with those trades happening, we now are down to 20, or we went from 20 to 19. So yeah, still a lot of picks, 13 picks next year. You have a 6th instead of a 5th now. And then you don't have a 7th round pick in 2027, which obviously that's going to change the next couple of years. I'm sure Howie will be doing all kinds of magical little things. So you can see a 1st, a 2nd, 3 3rds, 2 4ths, 3 5ths, 2 6ths, and a 7th. So Howie, you magical man, this is why I talk about the Eagles building a dynasty. So Howie, he knows the quarterback, a very important position. And, well, Tanner McKee dealing with a finger injury right now. And, well, behind Tanner McKee, we saw not so great. So we go ahead, we trade for a quarterback. So let's talk about this quarterback. And we are familiar with this young man who was drafted in the 5th round by the Washington Commanders. And we know he has a couple wins under his belt in his NFL career. And look, the kid was talked about as possibly a former, formerly talked about as a possible 1st round pick is what I'm trying to say. And then it was kind of moved around, maybe a 2nd, maybe a 3rd. He drops all the way to the 5th round. All right. Well, let's take a look. The Vikings traded for him in April from the Seahawks here, but he started with Washington, was with Seattle last year, didn't start any games with Seattle, but he did come in for 2 games, was the worst rated quarterback by PFF in the couple of snaps he was able to get in there. But yeah, we'll take that with a grain of salt. This will be his 4th season out of North Carolina, about to be 25 years old, 6'1", 225. And he's a dual threat quarterback. 4.87 40-yard dash is good for a quarterback. His cap hit, very small, 1.1 mil. And you talk about in his career here, he's started 18 games, 22 touchdowns to 23 interceptions. Not great. 62.6 completion percentage there. Over 4,000 passing yards. Sacked 72 times, 207 yards per game. But he can run the ball, as mentioned. 6 rushing touchdowns. 5.6 yards per rush there. So, look, as I talked about, there was some hype around the kid. I thought exciting to watch him play. We saw him beat out Carson Wentz, but the excitement came from North Carolina. And, we'll look at his senior season here. He had 22. I messed up on the damn touchdown interception. The one damn thing I didn't change. Son of a, my apologies. So it was 24 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. My bad. But 62.5. So you see that's his area. He had 254.7 yards per game, 4.5 yards per rush, 11 rushing touchdowns to those 23 pass touchdowns. So, again, this is a kid that had some hype around him, but he is a little bit smaller for a quarterback height-wise. I think that somebody with great footwork, he's got a deep ball, just kind of has to work on the ball placement there. Great with the short intermediate throws. I think, he started 17 games just a couple of years ago in 2023 for the Commanders, which we are all very aware of. And he's shown he's some talent here. So this is good. Somebody with some experience on this roster. And Tanner McKee, again, is banged up, but also expendable at the I mean, I want to have a good backup. I want to keep Tanner, but if somebody's offering an arm and a leg for, a starting quarterback that they desperately need, I'm sure Howie's listening here. So we'll see. But let's take a look at this updated depth chart now with Sam Howell added to the mix. And again, Lewis Cine, you saw that move was made as well. Again, he will revert to this IR if he does not go claimed. So he'll join these guys here. You can see Johnny Wilson out for the season. That blows. But looking at the offense, again, I told you, I don't think McCord or DTR is making this roster. I don't even know, how comfortable you feel with them as your practice squad emergency guy. So as I mentioned here the last week, I really feel we're going to add a quarterback. And, well, we did that. So Sam Howell is here, QB3. And again, tonight, this will make my projected 53 a little more interesting because it made it more fun. I had an extra spot because I was only keeping those two, McKee and Hurts. But, well, we shall see. But, beyond that, you can see how I have this offense going, and we'll break this down later here. And then on the defense, one less safety there. So Lewis Cine no longer in the mix there with these 6 guys competing. So, you pretty much know it's a few guys competing, but you get what I mean. And then I'll just show you the special teams just to top off this depth chart here. But you see how it's going with the Eagles. And look, again, tonight I'm going to give you my projected 53-man roster, and you're going to see the updated depth chart, how I have it going. And then once it goes down on Tuesday, I'll give you the actual 53. And we'll talk about, everything that goes down here in the next few days. But that's what's going on with Sam Howell. I think, again, a great addition here. You needed somebody behind Tanner McKee. McCord needs time to develop. DTR, he definitely needs time to develop or something. Don't know that his NFL career is going to – hey, look, I don't want to knock anyone. Best of luck to them. But you'll hear more about that on that projected 53-man roster where I see things going for them. But this is what's going on with that trade. Howie Houdini at it again. Getting Sam Howell from the Vikings. And look, again, you don't want this guy playing. He just lost out to a rookie Brosmer or whatever. Vikings just signed Carson Wentz. So, I mean, he was expendable. Maybe in the right system, learning here with Jalen Hurts, McKee, and, maybe it's a great thing. So, best of luck to him. Let me know down below your thoughts on this. Or if you have any questions, anything to add, whatever it is, love to hear from you. Hope to see you later. If you got anything from this video, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Share this bad boy. Subscribe down below. And if you guys need anything, you can always reach out to me. It does not have to be about the birds. Always here for you guys as you are for me. I love each and every one of you. Hope you're having a great weekend. Nice little Sunday here. But until next time, I am Jimmy Smith. And this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there. And as always, go Birds!